What can we learn in week 3 for your Clemson Tigers? How prepared and focused they are. They cannot look ahead to next week versus Florida State. And I'm going to tell you why next on the Locked On Clemson Podcast.
You are Locked On Clemson, your daily podcast on the Clemson Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Clemson family? Welcome back to the Locked On Clemson Podcast, your daily podcast covering your Clemson Tigers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your boy, Damian Parson, always on the ones and twos. You can find and follow me on Twitter at DP_NFL. I am the founder of the Scouting Room. I'm part of the co-host team of the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast and a national scout over with the Draft Network. Guys, happy Friday, and thank y'all for making Locked On Clemson your first listen today and every day. Thank you for being my everydayers, guys. We have a good show, a fun show, as we wrap up our preview heading into tomorrow's game versus the Florida Atlantic Owls. What can we learn? That's what we're going to talk about on today's episode. What can we learn? How focused and prepared the Tigers are. What we hope to learn is, will our stars be stars in this game? And what type of attitude will your Clemson Tigers play with on tomorrow? All right. But before we get into all of that, we got to give a quick shout out to LinkedIn. Today's episode of Locked On Clemson is brought to you by LinkedIn. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Terms and conditions apply. How focused and prepared will the Clemson Tigers be to start both games slow? And Coach Dabo Swinney, head coach, the head ball coach, has talked about this week and after week 2, that the slow starts, the mistakes, the self-inflicted wounds, as he said, has hurt the team's productivity and ability to get into rhythm early in games. So how focused will they be, as I talked about earlier in the week, to pitch a clean game, right? Pitch a no-hitter, okay? No runs, no one on base when you're pitching, right? That's what you want. So you want Clemson to be as focused and prepared as possible, right? Defensively, whatever Florida State's going to run, take away their strength, force them into their weakness, be prepared, right? But what we can't have is Clemson looking ahead to next week, looking ahead to their Death Valley matchup with the Florida State Seminoles, that raging, roaring buzzsaw from Florida. They cannot look ahead and just look over the Florida Atlantic Owls. Because truthfully, guys, I felt like they looked over Charleston Southern last week. I truly believe that. Because if you took them serious enough, you wouldn't make these mistakes, compounding mistakes, early in games. That third quarter should have been the first quarter. 28 straight points should have been 28 straight points to open the game. Not a score to, hey, great first drive, and then turnover, right? Pick six, okay? Giving them a one final hooray type of drive to get, I think they kicked the field goal or whatever it was. No, none of that. So in this game where clearly Clemson is a much more talented team, a much more well-coached team, but it's all about the preparation and the focus. And when I get to the focus part, it's simple. Look at the meal in front of you. In the jungle, tigers they're not looking across or trying to figure out and sniff the prey across the land. When they got cabaret or they got this animal or that animal in front of them, it's like, listen, man, if I can get this mammal and I can eat now, let's do that. I'm not going to have this meal in front of me where I can pounce on them and I can dominate them. But instead of doing that, I let that meal almost get away because I'm too busy looking all the way across 50 yards ahead. No, Focus. Focus on this game tomorrow. Focus on the Florida Atlantic Owls. Focus on beating their 2 talented offensive tackles. Focus on protecting your quarterback offensive line. Wide receivers, continue to focus on getting open. All right, that's what you need to do. Focus and prepare to dominate this game. Because I truly believed, we all know Charleston Southern didn't have a shot. Out of respect for the opponent, ESPN's matchup predictor gave him a 1% chance. It should have been a 0% chance. 100% to 0. I know they say any given Sunday, any given Saturday, DP. Not in that situation, it's not. So all I'm saying, guys, is when you have as much talent as the Clemson Tigers, display that clean game. When you're focused and prepared, what do I always say? Preparation plus opportunity. Preparation meets opportunity, high chance for success. If you prepare for the opportunity, you're preparing to be successful. So I expect them, and I believe that they're preparing to be successful. But the only way that you're going to reach that level of success that you desire is to be focused in your approach. And that's what I need to see from this team, is to be focused, to be so honed in, to be so zoned in. Cade coming out and playing like the 5-star that he is, playing like the uber talented quarterback that he is, playing like a guy that should, before he leaves college, should be viewed as one of the best in the game, because he can be. Come out focused, come out prepared, and handle business. That's what matters to me. And that's what we can learn from this game. Because I'm going to tell you, if they come out, I know you're asking, DP, well, what if they do come out as you're requesting? What if they do come out and they're focused and they're prepared and they dominate and they have a clean game from start to finish, 4 straight quarters, no big blunders and mistakes and turnovers and giving up points on offense or giving up having busted coverages and giving up points defensively? What if they do that, DP? What does that mean? What should the fans believe? How should they feel? Simple. If they do those things, you should feel confidence going into Florida State. I saw a tweet from some random podcast where they were just blabbing about this is the worst Clemson team that they've ever seen in the past couple of years. I'm like, clearly someone doesn't know football, because that's not true. Because that is not true. But this is the situation. If you go out on tomorrow and you don't handle business versus Florida Atlantic early, and you're shooting yourself in the foot, you're throwing picks, you're fumbling yet again, you're blowing pass protection, giving free runs to your quarterback. He's not comfortable. You're doing all the things that have gotten you in trouble in week 1 that caused you to lose that game, right? Those things were the cause that cost you the game versus the Duke Blue Devils. If you come out and do those things, no one is going to believe you have a shot versus Florida State. But if you come out and pitch a clean game, you come out and you 4 quarters dominate, and there's no blunders, there's none of those stupid self-inflicted mistakes and wounds, and you just dominate from the opening whistle to the closing whistle. If you do those things, people would then feel like you're putting your best foot forward heading in to Florida State when they come to Death Valley, 12 o'clock next Saturday afternoon Eastern time. That's what I'm saying, is that's what we can learn. But what else can we learn? Our stars need to be stars, right? Our stars need to be stars. And what stars am I talking about? Defensively and offensively. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., right? Cade Klubnik, right? Tyler Davis, Xavier Thomas, Rook Ororo. These guys need to be the stars that they are this Saturday, tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you why next on the Locked On Clemson podcast. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs, guys. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. What do you need to do? It's easy. Create a free job post on LinkedIn Jobs. Add the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. You have simple tools at your disposal, like screening questions that make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skill set and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates that you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. The stars for your Clemson Tigers need to be stars. They need to be on top of their game, right? So if I'm expecting if I'm asking Cade Klubnik to be a star for this team, if I think he's a star, I need him to come out and throw for 400 and 5 touchdowns. I need him to be a star. But when I talk about stars, I look at the defensive side of the ball, and I talked about it. Xavier Thomas, Rook Orororo, Tyler Davis, right? Those guys, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Barrett Carter. There's no, and I mean no excuse for Clemson to only have 2 sacks through 2 games. And one of those games, you played Charleston Southern. Now, I get it. There weren't a ton of passing opportunities. But you, at least when they did pass the ball, you would hope to have seen more sacks in those opportunities. But then same thing against Duke, right? Missed tackles per PFF, right? When you look at Barrett Carter. Now, not only that, let's go here. You know, like I said, a lot of you guys do appreciate the PFF grades and stuff, right? So Barrett Carter, Xavier Thomas, and Rook Orororo all have sub 50 tackling grades. Okay, sub 50 tackling grades, and that's concerning because if you think about the against Duke, wasn't it Barrett Carter that we thought he had Riley Leonard dead to rights in the backfield? I think that might have been the touchdown run when he broke free and was able to create with his legs and then gashes for 40-yard, 50-yard touchdown or whatever it was. Like, those are the things that you just cannot have. So, PFF has Barrett Carter with 3 missed tackles. They say he has 25% missed tackle rate right now, right? With Nate Wiggins following him up and then, with 2, and then Jeremiah Trotter also with 2. But, they said, just looking at everything, you want to see Jeremiah Trotter has 3 hurries in 2 games. He only has 9 tackles, right? I got he didn't play the full game against Charleston Southern, so that's fine. But the stars need to be the stars. Defensively, get in the backfield, create havoc, not just against the run. They've been really good against the run in 2 games, man. Right? I don't care what Duke did at the end of the game. Take away that run I just talked about with Riley Leonard. They really held their own against Duke's run offense, a team that wants to be balanced. Charleston Southern really couldn't run the ball at all. So they've been really good. Peter Wood's been getting in the backfield, creating penetration, all the things, right? Surge, all of it, man. He's been, they were getting in the backfield, creating that surge. But I need the second level defenders. And I start to see some of that more so, week 2. But I need these guys to come out and dominate. Don't let this offensive line even breathe. I want to see these guys struggling to block our defensive line. I want to see the linebackers be more aggressive, get downhill, call a more aggressive game where it's good when send those guys. Send that pressure when it's necessary. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. had 6.5 sacks last year. That's what I need to see. The cross dog blitzes with him and Barrett Carter. All that stuff, man. When the guys that are healthy, the stars that are healthy be stars. On the offensive line. Block for Cade, of course. But your running backs, those are the stars of the offense. Those are the #1 stars to me. Will Shipley and Phil Maffa. Dominate. Don't let these guys should not bring you down first contact. Everything needs to be physical. Everything needs to be difficult for them. Phil Maffa, you are 230 pounds. I want those guys to get tired of hitting anyone after hitting you early in the game. After trying to bring you down in open field, after trying to run the alley and fill the lane and tackle this 230-pound running back to the ground. I want these defenders by halftime to be so tired of physical contact that they won't hug their loved ones after the game. That's what I'm talking about. So I need the stars to be stars. I think in the receiving game, some people say you don't have any stars. And that could be true right now. But I think this is a game where you start to compound weeks 1 and 2 into week 3, right? So, and what I mean by that is this: Antonio Williams, Bo Collins, take that next step. Both of you have 100 yards receiving, right? And put your best foot forward to then next week. Your confidence on high, you balling, and say you go out and put up 100 plus against Florida State, and you get what everyone will call an upset, right? Now people say, man, they got some stars at wide receiver. Bowl, man, listen, Cade threw for 300 plus, and all that. That's what I'm saying. Like you start that momentum versus Florida Atlantic. So the run game and Cade will be the stars of this offense that you need to be stars for number one. But of course, on the offensive side of the ball, the wide receiver, like I said, Antonio Williams, Bo Collins, hopefully Cole Turner can go. I'm not sure if he's going to go just yet. But, if he can go, same thing. Man, Adam Randall, play big, young fella. Show us why you were highly touted and highly rated coming out of college. Out of high school. So at the end of the day, I need the stars to be stars. Andrew Mukuba, week 1, was an absolute stud in coverage versus a very good wide receiver. R.J. Mickens, did his thing as well. Nate Wiggins has been really flat out just kind of locked down in coverage. So we need the stars to be stars. Because when your best players are putting their best foot forward, the guys behind them and on those tiers underneath them, those guys will put their best foot forward because your stars are your leaders. And when your leaders aren't playing at a high level, when your leaders aren't executing, it makes those younger guys' jobs a lot harder. Okay? So wide receivers, yes, Cade is a quarterback and he gets all the love. But wide receivers, when you go out there and you separate and you get open and you ball and you catch the ball and you make plays for Cade, that helps him out. That makes him look better. That makes his job easier. Cade, you put it on them so they can make them throw the ball and put the ball on the numbers. Put it in their hands, in the diamond, in the pocket, in the body, whatever. Put it there so that they can make the plays for you. And now you both, as a team, as teammates, make each other look better to the national media and to the untrained eye for everybody else that's watching. So all I'm saying is this. Stars need to be stars. And there's no other way around it. Okay, I don't want to ask TJ Parker, the freshman, to be our top edge rusher in this game. I need Xavier Thomas to be that. I don't want Peter Woods to play better than Tyler Davis and Rook Orororo. Why? Because those two are the stars. They came back. They both had NFL draft hopes. And they were both viewed very well in the NFL draft world, by scouts included. But they went back for one more year. Let's boost this draft stock or hype. Let's boost it. Let's turn it up. Do that. I got nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. I have no problem with that. But I need you to step up and be stars. Going into week 3, how many weeks? You cannot enter this game with 2 sacks and walk out with 2 sacks. You can't enter this game with what? Let me look at it in terms of hurries and pressures. 34 in 2 games. You can't walk in like that and walk out with 36, 37. Now I need 40 plus pressures, which means you got 6 plus pressures. Not 2 sacks after this game. Nah, I need 6, 7, which means you got 4 to 5. Some fumbles, turnovers, anything. Stars, we need you guys to be stars. But how does that happen? You can tie everything together. The focus and preparation allows your stars to be stars. But what's the biggest part of everything else? The attitude, the physicality, the way that they play. It must be physical. It must be unrelenting from the very first kickoff. And I'm going to tell you why next on the Locked On Clemson Podcast. Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, brand new customers, not you've been here 5 years or 3 months, you start today. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 back in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers, new, old, the ones that's coming up in 2 months, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube and YouTube TV. Guys, I can tell you personally, I love YouTube TV. Best decision I made switching to YouTube TV, and YouTube TV with Sunday Ticket is a game changer. So it's very simple. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use, and you can bet on everything from spread to player props and so much more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season with an offer you will not want to miss. FanDuel is the official partner of the NFL. Your Clemson Tigers attitude versus walking into the game versus the Florida Atlantic Owls must be physical, aggressive, not angry, but with a chip on their shoulder. You should walk in and feel like they have no business on the same field with you. What separates the best teams? What separates the best players? You got Deion Sanders in Colorado over there just taking any chance that anybody in the media says anything negative about them. And some people be like, it's egotistical. No, it's brilliant coaching. No, it's brilliant team building and mindset. It's mind manipulation. Why? Because you get your team ready to go. You get your team ready to play. What do you mean, DP? Because it's called bulletin board material. The best of the best found any and everything to motivate them on game day. Tom Brady for the New England Patriots, remember the quarterbacks that were drafted before him. Amon-Ra St. Brown was one of the better receivers in the NFL. He remembers every name of every wide receiver that was drafted before him when he was selected in the 4th round a couple years ago. So what am I saying? Everybody who says you're the worst Clemson team ever, your wide receivers can't separate this, that, and the other, take that and put that chip. Let it create a boulder and walk around with it. And then take it out on Florida Atlantic. And then put it right back on your shoulder and get ready for next week versus Florida State. Okay? That's what you need to do. I want to see a Clemson Tiger team with an attitude, with an edge. Play disrespected, because that's what you are now. You got people from The Athletic tweeting out during the game. I don't know how he was watching the game, but he said, I think it's, what did the guy say? I remember his footwork for the Athletic. I think it's Ted Nguyen. And he said, Clemson struggling to score against Charleston Southern. He tweeted this out. And I'm watching the same game, and I'm like, Clemson just turned the ball over. They just shot themselves in the foot. They were driving. What do you mean? A poor snap, not fielding the snap. Ball bounces to the defense. Is that Clemson struggling to score? Or Cade Klubnik turning down an easy read and then throwing it straight to a wide receiver because he's trying to play hero ball? Is that them struggling? No, because when they stopped shooting themselves in the foot, they scored at will with ease. So again, you take those type of comments. You take those type of comments and you use it. You use it as fuel. You let it build that boulder, that chip. No, I don't want a little small rock on your shoulder. I want you to have a boulder that Indiana Jones was trying to move and get into dark areas. You know what I'm saying? Them boulders that cover caves. That's the type of boulder I need. All right. I need a big boulder on your shoulder when you walk into this game. Play with an attitude, man. The attitude must be relentless. Goes back to the first segment. Being focused and prepared. Your attitude must come out like we are too good to be on the same field with the Florida Atlantic Owls. We are too good. And if you take that mentality and not just take it, right, and have that attitude, but play with it. to where you're dominant at the line of scrimmage. You're dominant in the trenches. Their wide receivers can't get open. Their corners can't cover you. They can't tackle the running backs. K's lighting and dotting them up, slicing like a Ginsu knife. All those things. All I'm saying is that's the type of attitude you need to have in this game. Florida State's next week. Don't look ahead. Look in the present. Right? Look in the present. Truthfully. I will say this. I mean, the Bible says, for those who believe in the Bible says, be anxious of nothing, right? Don't focus on what's to come. Take care of what's here. And I need Clemson to take care of what's here. Tomorrow, what will be here? The Florida Atlantic Owls. Take care of them. And then when that game's over, celebrate for a little bit, put your game face on, get an ice bath, stretch, right? Get the Theragun and work your muscles. Go from being sore to feeling better, right? Relax, and then get ready for class because you need to worry about that education, right? But also get ready to face the Florida State Seminoles next week, a team you fought tooth and nail with last year, and a team that I believe you can do the exact same thing this year. That's our show, guys. We talked about the Tigers' attitude and what it must be. We need our stars to be stars, and the Tigers must be focused and must be prepared. Focus on what's here, not on what's to come. All right. So, guys, thank y'all for making Locked On Clemson your first listen today and every day. Thank you guys so much for being my everydayers. Go subscribe and follow for free on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, to get the latest episode as soon as it is available on YouTube. Like, comment. Remember, FTA for the algorithm. Comment. Talk to me because I do talk back. I got comments I got to respond to now and everything like that. But also hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever I drop content, guys, and everything. So I'm have YouTube Shorts coming up, all that good stuff, man. So tap in and stay tapped in. Let's get this channel up to 1,000 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer to 800. Let's keep pushing that. Let's get there. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers and make this channel the best Clemson football podcast the world has ever known. I can bring the content. You guys bring the support. Together, we make magic, all right? But like I said, tomorrow is game day. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Have fun. Let's hope. Not even hope. Let's hope for a clean game, but let's expect a big win from your Clemson Tigers. All right, and I'll have some instant reactions and everything on the podcast and all that stuff in the coming days. So come and join the conversation again tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Go Tigers.